Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys a story about when I was almost illegally adopted. Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. What's good? Today I'm back with a story time. This time it's gonna be my very first story time, so I hope that you guys enjoy it. I kind of was like debating on telling the story or not, and also just trying to think of what other interesting stories I might have that I could share on YouTube. And this one was like, you know, it was like, it happened in my childhood, so it was a little bit like traumatizing, like a little bit like, as a child it was like a way worse story than like looking back at it now, you know what I mean? But it's still like super interesting and super like, I don't know, crazy. So I thought that I would definitely share this story with you guys. There are other stories that I might have, so definitely if you guys want to hear more story times, leave a comment down below and I'll think about which story that I want to share. But before we get into the story time, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's just get right into it, you know what I mean? Grab yourself a drink if you have one, if you're of age. So I've told this story, but I've never told the whole story before. And it's super crazy like what happened, and I don't even know like where to start, but I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of background. So basically when I was growing up, my dad was a coach in wrestling, and this was before I decided to wrestle myself. So I was like the kids or the coach's kid, and I got to travel wherever they went. We traveled all over Canada. We went to a couple of places like in the US and other places. And I just got to reap all the benefits of being a coach's kid. So I got to go to all these places, stay in hotels, eat at restaurants, eat out, road trips. And I'm like the only girl with a whole bunch of guys, so who's complaining? But yeah, so I really enjoyed my time in my childhood, getting to travel pretty much every single weekend. Basically what ended up happening was we went on a trip to Montreal. So we always like drove if we could. Like anytime that we would go to somewhere in Canada, we would pretty much drive. The only time I think I actually flew somewhere was like to BC, because that's like super far. But yeah, so we ended up driving to Montreal, which is about a 5-hour drive from where I'm from, Brampton. And the other trip, we ended up staying at this hotel that was about a 20-minute to 30-minute walk from this major mall in Montreal. So I don't remember the name of it at all, and I was maybe between the age of 10 and 12. So I was pretty young and I was pretty dependent on my dad, because you know, I obviously didn't have my own money. I was not old enough to go anywhere on my own. I just generally was young, so I didn't know like how to drive. I didn't know where I was just going with the flow, following everybody around, like just doing what I'm told to do basically, because that's like the age that I am. So one day we either like the tournament was over or we were just had like some free time, and our whole team decided to go to the mall. So this includes my dad, the coach, includes like the parents that came with the other kids, and then it includes our team. So there's probably like 15 of us, I would say 15 to 20 people, which includes like all the adults, so all the parents and all the kids, all the athletes. And some of the athletes had siblings that also came along because their parents were there. So we all decided like, hey guys, the mall's like 20 minutes away. Let's go get some food from the mall, and if you guys want to shop, get some free time to shop as well. So we are walking to the mall, and as we're walking to the mall, this day my dad was not feeling good. So he was just not feeling good, but obviously like we're in Montreal, like we're not gonna waste the time like being sick in the hotel. So he was like, yeah guys, I'm down, like let's go, I'll go get something to eat, or hopefully something that's gonna help me like feel better. So we're walking, and my dad's like, yo guys, before we get in the mall, make sure that you guys have a partner. So everyone partner up with at least one other person, and that way if we do end up like separating in the mall, you'll have like, you know, someone who's gonna keep tabs on you and someone who's gonna look out for you and make sure that you're not alone when you go to the mall. So I'm kind of like, well, it's my dad who's like in charge of everybody, so I mean, he's obviously gonna make sure his kids are there, but at the same time, like, he wasn't feeling good. And then but one of the other parents ended up like being my partner. So it was a mom, so she was you know, like, yeah, Kayla, I'll be your partner, and also her partners with her son. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we go up in the mall. We don't really separate, so like the partner thing was like whatever. But then what ended up happening was we're like sitting in the food court, and my dad was like, Kayla, here's some change, can you go and grab me some tea? So this is like after, I think this is like towards like before we're gonna leave and head out, and everyone already ate, and we're just like in the food court. My dad sends me to go get him some tea, so I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. And here's the other thing that I should include is that my dad always like wanted to make sure that we knew a second language. So growing up, I was in French immersion school throughout kindergarten to grade 8, and then in high school I just took like core French. I didn't go to a French high school, so I knew like the basics of French. So we're in Montreal, they speak French there, so that's part of the reason why my dad like sent me to go and get him something. And he was like, practice your French, like, here's some money, go practice your French. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go and I grab him some tea. There's a couple people in line, so I'm like waiting in the line. And again, like, I'm excited to like just be in Montreal. I'm young, and you know, like, I get a little bit of freedom, and my dad sends me to go get something, and I'm like, yes, I'm like independent, responsible, gonna go buy me some tea, you know what I mean? So anyways, I'm waiting in line, and then I finally order the tea, and then I get like 15 cents change, like something really, really small. So now keep in mind, guys, I am supposed to be like, my partner's supposed to be looking out for me, but my dad sent me to go get the tea on my own, and my partner was a mom, so she was really like focused on her kids. She wasn't really like thinking about me like that, you know? So anyway, so I'm like, okay, I got the tea, so I'm gonna head back to the food court. And I like tried to remember like how to get to the food court. Not that it was far, but it was just like, I don't want to get lost. Like, I'm in a place that it's my first time being here maybe, and they speak a different language, and like when you're younger you feel like you're in a whole nother country because, like, you know, you're 5 hours away from your actual house. So I'm heading back to the food court. I walk in the food court. I look left, I look right, I look straight, up, down, everywhere. I don't see my team. I don't see anybody. I'm just like, they were in the food court, right? Like, what the hell? Like, where's my team? And at that point, my heart starts beating fast. And I'm just like, I'm 10, 11, or 12. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And I don't have a cell phone. Like, I have 15 cents on me. Like, this is before I had my own phone. I had my own wallet. You know what I mean? And like, I had a sense of direction. Like, I didn't know. I was like, okay. So what I ended up doing was just kind of like walking around to make sure I wasn't going crazy. I'm like, I don't see my team here. I don't remember if like I yelled out like anything like dad or Kelman or anything like that. But I just didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, Kayla, like, you know, think, you know what I mean? Like, what does a 10-year-old girl do when she can't find her parents and she doesn't have a phone, and she feels like she's in another country? Like, she feels like she's in a foreign country. They don't even speak English here. My French is just basic. It's not like super good. So what I end up doing is like, I'm like, okay, there's a payphone. Why don't I know how to use a payphone? Like, oh my god, I didn't know how to use the payphone. And I think like back in when I was like that age, like the payphone was not expensive. And this is before I knew that if you hit 0, like it would call for you, like collect call or whatever. But I tried to like use the payphone because I was like, you know what, I might get it. I might just know how to do it. And I knew my dad's phone number, so at least I knew that much. So I was like, okay, but then the collect call just like wasn't working. And I was also thinking like, okay, like we're, you know, out of town, so my dad's service might not be bad. I have no idea. And again, after I try and use the phone, I go back to like the food court, and like they're still not there. And I'm just like, oh my god, like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I'm here with the tea. The tea is hot in my hand. I'm sweating. My heart is beating, like beating. And I'm just like, God, what do I do? Like, so I was like, and the other thing was, like I said, I didn't have a sense of direction. So I was just like, should I go like try and find my way to the hotel? But like, that's unsafe. Like, I'm a young female black girl. Like, I shouldn't be like walking alone on the streets, especially in a place I don't know. I might get lost. I'm like, I should just stay like in the mall, because that's where like they knew I was, and once they recognize that I'm missing, they'll come back and get me, you know what I mean? So I decided to just wander around the mall a little bit, because I was like, I should probably try and find them. They probably are in here. Like, there's no way they forgot about me. Like, there's no freaking way. First of all, my dad is my dad. Like, he's gonna look for where his kids are. He sent me to get tea, so he should have remembered, but at the same time, he's not feeling well, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And then again, I have a partner who's also supposed to be looking for me. Like, she's supposed to be like checking to make sure that the two people she was responsible for are there, but apparently all mans forgot about your girl. All mans forgot about me, you know what I mean? So what ended up happening was I just kept on walking around, and then I tried to, like, I was so nervous, I just was like looking around, and I'm like, okay, I need to ask someone for help. Who looks nice? Like, I'm just like, who looks nice that I can go and like ask them a question? And then I'm like, oh my god, and they don't speak English, so now I gotta like use my French, and I don't want to mess up. I want to make sure that I'm clear and that they understand me. And also, like, these were like the type of words that I had to use and say were like, I'm lost, I don't know where I am, I lost my dad. Like, they're basic, but not so basic, because I wanted them to understand that like I need help, like, you know what I mean? And again, you're nervous and you're young, and you don't like, you just don't think right all the time. So I ended up coming across this hair salon, and the lady in there, she looked really nice. Like, when I walked by, she smiled at me, and I was like, okay, maybe I can just ask her. And I also don't like, I also am like kind of nervous like talking to strangers, you know, because you're told like don't talk to strangers, like, you know. But at this point, like, I didn't see any police around, I didn't see any security around. I was like, let me just ask this lady, like, let me see if she can understand me. So this is where it gets a little bit crazy, if you didn't think it was already a crazy story. But I go up to the lady and I'm like, bonjour. And again, like, I'm like, I can't remember if I was in tears or not, but I probably was. Like, I was so scared. I'm like, bonjour, like, hello, je ne peux pas trouver mon père. Like, I'm like literally like so nervous talking. Like, I'm trying to tell her like, I can't find my dad. He sent me to get something. I went back to where he was and he wasn't there. So now I'm lost. Can I use your phone? I'm like, est-ce que je peux utiliser ton téléphone pour téléphoner mon père? Je peux pas trouver. And I don't even know if like I'm making sense right now, but I was trying to like tell her, like, so she was picking up on it and looking at me like, oh yeah, sure, like, don't worry, we go ahead, use the phone. So I'm like, okay, merci. And then I try to like call him and he doesn't pick up. I'm like, is this really happening? Like, is this really happening? And this lady, she's like running a salon. Like, I don't know if it was her salon or not, but like, I'm just like, you know, she's like, she's not just like a stranger walking around. Like, she's at work right now. I can't be here, like, you know what I mean? So I start crying when he doesn't answer the phone. I'm so scared, like, I don't know what to do. Then this freaking lady, I mean, she was so nice, but she looks at me and was like, don't worry. I'm like, what you mean don't worry? And she's like, don't worry, if he doesn't come for you, I'll take you home. I'm like, I don't want to go home with you, lady. I want to go home to my dad. Like, I want to go home to my family. Like, I know who my family is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go home with you. Like, that's not what you tell a little girl. Like, you're supposed to tell her, like, don't worry, we're gonna find your dad. Your dad's gonna come. Like, don't worry, we're gonna make sure you get home safe. Like, you know. But she was like, oh no, you're so cute, I'll take you home. And I'm just like, that is not what I want to hear right now. That is not what I want to hear right now. So I just look at her like, yeah, can we try to call him again, please? So I ended up calling my dad again, but this time I was crying so much. She ended up, like, I dialed the number for her and she ended up like calling and actually picked up, my dad picked up the phone. I was so relieved. I was like, oh my god, thank god. So she told him, hi, this I'm calling you because I have your daughter. And he's over on the other line like, you have my daughter? And she was like, yeah, she's at the mall. And he was like, so this is like what he told me after, how like when he answered the phone, that he like looked behind him because they were still walking back to the hotel. So he looked behind them and we're like, where's Kayla? You know, like nobody, all 15 people on my team, my brothers, my dad, my partner, nobody realized I was gone until the lady called him, or I called him. So I was like, wow, like you actually didn't realize yet? Like how long was it gonna be before you realized? And that's the thing, I'm a young little girl. I could have been like kidnapped. I could have been, something could have happened to me. Like the amount of time it was literally like a whole hour. But to me, because I'm young, right, it felt like days. It felt like forever. You know what I mean? So he ended up saying like, guys, where's Kayla? Who's Kayla's partner? Why didn't you recognize? You know, and it's like he's like blaming my partner, but at the same time, like I'm like, but you're my dad. Like, what do you mean? So then he tells the lady that he's coming back. So she tried to tell him like the name of the store that I was at, and he said, I'm on my way. So I was like, thank God. So she was trying to calm me down because I was like, I don't want to go home with you. I don't know what to do. I don't have a phone. My dad didn't even remember or realize I was gone, and he's the one who sent me for the tea. Like if I didn't leave the food court, I would have been fine. You know what I mean? But I had to like realize like, okay, my dad's not feeling good, so I'm not gonna blame him fully. And that's also why he made sure everyone had a partner. Like he tried to do his job in like making sure everyone like was gonna look out for each other, especially because he wasn't even feeling good himself. So I wait there with the lady while he comes back, and again he's walking, so I'm giving him time. I'm there like with the tea in my hand, tears running down my face. The lady's there trying to calm me down, and she was like literally trying to tell me she was gonna take me home, and like, yeah, I have a nice house, I have a cute little dog and all this shit. And I'm just like, girl, you ain't finna adopt me illegally. I ain't trying to be adopted. Like, I don't want to go home with you. So sorry guys, I'm dragging this story out, but my dad ends up coming and he picks me up. Well, he comes there and he's telling the lady, thank you so much, thank you so much. And we're speaking French because we all know a little bit of French. But she was like, no problem, no problem. Like she didn't even like, it was weird because I'm like, naturally, right, another adult should be mad at the other adult for forgetting their child. But it was just more like, thank you so much, like thank you. And then my dad was like, Kayla, I'm so sorry. Like he apologized and all that stuff, and he was like, I'll never forget you again. And I'm just like, it wasn't just you who forgot me. It was like a whole bunch of 15 people and my partner and my brothers. Like everyone didn't realize I was gone. So I was like traumatized. I was like, damn, yo, this could have been a lot worse. And this lady, it's not even like the lady was trying to just help me out. She was trying to take me home. Like I'm like, you better take me to McDonald's. You better put some money in my bank account. You better buy me a cell phone. Like that's how I was feeling. I was like, yo. And all you guys on the team, don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me. So that's pretty much the story. After we started walking back, everyone was just like surprised and was like, we're sorry, Kayla. And then they were like, every time we went somewhere during that trip, they were all like, where's Kayla, where's Kayla, like making sure. And I'm like, yeah, I'm thankful now you guys care, but what's the damage is done. Like the damage is done. I'm already hurt. I'm already freaking hurt. So yeah, after that, like it's, you know, everything was good. And we enjoyed the rest of the trip. I mean, like it bothered me that day, but like after that, like it was whatever. But they still were trying to be extra and making sure like I was around. And yeah, So that is my story. Okay. Freaking crazy story. But if you guys have any comments or anything like that, leave them down below. If you guys want to hear more stories, leave them down below, or sorry, let me know down below. And yeah guys, I'm good now. I forgave my dad, I forgave everybody, I forgave my brothers, I forgave my partner, you know. Yeah, it just like it felt so much worse than it was or could have been because of how young that I was. But it's all good, you know, it's all good in the hood. And it's funny because like the other day my dad like texted me or emailed me a picture from that trip, and I'm like, Dad, that's the trip you left me. And he was like, yeah, but I never left you again. I'm like, all right, okay, all right. But yeah guys, that is it. That is my story. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story time on how I was almost illegally adopted. If you guys want to hear more, make sure that you let me know. Make sure you guys like the video and make sure that you guys subscribe to the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.